Field in here, and he brought his intro in. We're going to be talking about, how do you get referrals? How do you do this? Like, let's get real about this stuff because in today's day and age, it's all digital, but is it really digital? I will fight with this a little bit with Michael, and he and I both have different talking points. But before we get to those different talking points, Mr. Michael Fielden, how are you, brother? You look handsome as all get out.
Dude, feeling great. It is another beautiful day out here. I'm expecting 82 degrees, and I am looking forward to going over and getting my tea this afternoon. Get this iced tea. No paid promotion here, but I absolutely love the Panera Sip Club. I can go down to
What
Panera.
is that?
Dude, I don't know what my wife pays, but she can't figure out how to cancel. I think it's right around $12 a month, and it allows you to give them your phone number, and I get any drink I want for free. I call it free because I don't pay for it. And I can do that every 2 hours. So I go over and I get a large unsweetened iced tea with just a splash of lemonade, and it's free. And my wife says it's not free. We're paying for it, but I don't see it. I don't know how much it is. And I get a free drink.
As long as you love it, that does not matter. Now that comes back to what we're going to talk about today, and we're talking about real estate referral leads. Now,
but wait, Greg, you're missing the best part about my tea.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
And this is the part that's amazing, and you're going to love this for your discussion today. I go over there the first time, usually about 10 a.m. All right. And for those of you that don't know how do you describe Panera?
Panera is like it's like not like bar food, but it's like the halfway food of bar food and high class food. But it's fun and it's easy to get, and the people are always very, very nice, and they're always very creative. That's been my experience.
All right. Yeah, I don't know if I'd equate it to bar food. I mean, they're a walk up kind of halfway between a deli and a bakery. But the part I love about this one is there are groups of people that go, and they go in windows, and it's pretty funny because I actually think for the groups that I'm most drawn to, they're going in between nap times, right? So there'll be a group of like 10 senior citizens sitting there at 10 a.m. drinking their coffee, having a pastry, and then again at about 2. And half the time I'm there, I'm talkative. I sit down and I'm like, "Hey, y'all, how you doing?" And the other day we played. Unfortunately, there was no money in it, but we played Texas Hold'em, like 10 old people and me, and I'm old, but I don't have that gray of hair, and they were out there. And
have you looked at yourself in the mirror?
Dude, that's not gray hair.
Look at your face.
I should be like Greg.
Yeah. Got the grays going.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to your story.
Anyway,
so you're playing Texas Hold'em.
Yes. And then I find out they all live in the same building / community. But I think if I could get at this group sooner, I might get some real estate business. But they're about a half mile from the 55 and up club building here, which is like 12 stories. It's funny. It's definitely worth going down to. And I get a free drink, guys. Sip Club. Check it out if you have a Panera near you. I happen to have 2 of them. One's a mile and a half away, one's 2 miles away, and it works out great for me. Okay, Greg, I know we have a lot to talk about, but I ran across the most interesting tidbit of AI this morning that I had to share it.
Do tell me more.
And, I'm fascinated by the ability of AI to create things from very little information. So we're going to talk about that in a second. Apple had a big announcement.
Describe little information.
Okay, let's describe that little information, Greg. There is somebody on my favorite platform, Reddit, that went out there and they gave ChatGPT their age, their body type, and the DNA results that they got about their heritage. Okay. And what they asked ChatGPT is, what do I look like? Body type, DNA results. Okay. These are the DNA results that you're looking at. And the first picture is the picture that ChatGPT produced.
Is that a real person?
This is a ChatGPT rendering.
Interesting.
Okay, here's the part that's fascinating to me. It got to a human, right? So from that little bit of information, we got to a human. Now, what's really interesting here as we go to the next one is because everybody wants this out there, is the next image is what she really looks like. Okay, now
Wait, wait. Is that real?
this is a real person. This is
Phenomenal looking woman.
Chat GPT looks like.
So fascinating.
Okay, now just look at the key features here, right? We look at the eyes, we look at the nose, we look at the mouth. Okay, it's pretty darn close
Go to the real one.
considering,
Oh,
right? Different hairstyle, squinting because of the lights, but the nose is very similar. The body shape is similar, hair color. I mean, this to me is fascinating and really tells the direction that AI is moving.
so let me ask you a question. When it comes to this, I'm gonna switch. Oh, you already did. Um, what's the impact in regards to the community in regards to having these conversations when somebody is AI generated versus being, real? Because I'll tell you one thing. I mean, I have a lot of AI generated images of me out on the internet, and it is terrifying how good they are. Like it is honestly, like I sat there and I shared it with my girlfriend. I'm like, dude, look at this. And she was like, holy mackerel socks. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, where do you think this is going?
So, unfortunately, I think the nefarious part of it's going to come out first, and we all talk about these deep fakes and stuff, and I think what you're going to start seeing is naked celebrities that aren't necessarily naked,
Okay, I can see that
right? And
happening. Yeah.
that's already happening, and I think it's tragic. I think it's a really bad use of technology. Okay, but the use of AI in porn is getting more and more prevalent every day.
Well, so let's go back on that topic really quickly. When it comes back to AI and images and so on and so forth, when it comes down to like making new movies with actors or actresses, and they take the images of these individuals and they put them out there as actual people doing stuff like
Yeah.
acting. That is terrifying. So let's roll that back to real estate. Let's roll that back to just general reality. Like let's talk about your neighbor, right? Your
Yeah.
neighbor's like, I really don't like you. I don't want to talk to you. You're peeing on my yard, yada yada. Where does that stop, in your opinion? Because that is unbelievably egregious. And he's taking a giant drink of water right now because he's sitting there going like, wow, that's a big question. Well,
Well,
okay,
I'm getting ready
let's
to
dig
pee on my
deep.
neighbor's yard. Just kidding. So I think like everything, AI is going to come full circle. And I think what you're going to end up seeing is that more and more of this stuff that people are using AI for, um, as it becomes more powerful, the stuff that is negative hopefully detracts from that. And one of the things that kind of Apple announced yesterday is that they're coming up with tools that will allow you on the iPhone. So you get on your phone and you're surfing the web and you're like, holy cow, what am I looking at?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you say, hey Siri, what am I looking at? And everybody's phone in the audience.
How many people actually ask that question? I mean, when's the last time you're like, "Hey Siri, what am I looking at?"
Okay, poor example. Greg, you're surfing through something. Let's keep it real estate. You're
Okay.
running through house properties on Zillow. Bam, bam, bam. You're scrolling through those photos. You absolutely love one of them. Okay. God, wouldn't that couch look amazing in this room? Well, now you say, hey, where do I get that couch?
I know where you're going with this. Okay.
And now, I mean, we've got two benefits here, right? We've already got AI engaged in helping us find the sofa, but we also have a commerce activity that ties with it. So maybe the next extension of that, as we stack those together, is where do I get the couch and how do I get it cheap?
So, all right, devil's advocate here. So I look at the couch, I see a photo, I see a click button, right, from AI. All of a sudden, I have an opportunity to click on that button. How do I know that button's accurate?
You don't, but at some point, you've got to start using your noodle, right? You can't just trust this stuff. So, in this circumstance, what I'm going to say is you need to be cognizant of the fact that there is still fraud out there. That always goes back to it. But you have a chance of finding something that you didn't before. It would have been very, very hard to go look for that product. Now, the funny part is from the other side, the AI is also going to go, hey, Greg, want to buy a couch? You know what, Greg? I'm going to show
When
you.
you say it like that, that sounds super
Yeah, it's
creepy.
like you're getting dragged into the alley, right? Hey, Greg, come back in the alley. I'm going to show you 84 couches over the next 6 weeks. Even though you bought one yesterday, I'm going to continue to show. Okay. Now, where AI is really going to trigger in is at some point in the future, AI is going to learn that you bought that couch.
Okay, so let's go to referral status in regards to AI.
Yep.
Because I want to bring it back to that really, really quickly, and I think you're bringing up a great point. But it's like the 1990s when it comes to the web in regards to like clicking on things and you're like, it's not going to work or it could work, yada yada. What about really doing referrals? Not couches, not anything else, keeping everything clean, kid friendly. Um, how would you keep your friends and family free and clear in regards to just what's out there?
Ask the question a different way.
Okay. Different question, same question, different way. How would you, as a gentleman who has a wife and two beautiful baby girls,
Don't give me
um,
another one.
huh?
Don't give me another one.
Oh,
Just two.
well, I only said two.
And for those parents out there, they're not babies, they're 19 and 20, so they're nightmares. It's quite the opposite.
And he loves each and every one of them.
I do.
Here's the thing. As a person with no kids, I really don't know how to ask the question, but I mean, I would put it out there as how do you get referrals and not sound like a creeper? I
Oh,
guess that would be my question.
so I I think that for me, and Greg, I know you think this way too, whether you articulate it as such. For me, going for referrals is all about forming relationships and friendships. When I go down to Panera,
True.
I don't feel like a creeper. I sit down with 10 people that are older than me and I ask about their experience. And the one thing that I picked up from you 20 years ago was Ford. And that's family, occupation,
Recreation and dreams.
recreation, and dreams. Okay.
Yep.
And knowing those, I always have at least 4 questions I can ask. Okay. I know these people probably don't have a current occupation or they wouldn't be at the Panera playing Hold'em at 10:30 in the morning, drinking, their third cup of coffee, but they do have a history of occupation. And so we can have those conversations. I don't feel like a creeper. And I always bring it around. Hey, what do you do?
Good.
It always comes back. And I bring it around. I sell real estate. Know anybody? And boom, there's a conversation. And lately, that conversation's getting better and better, Greg, because the market's going haywire down here. I'm actually seeing REO properties coming onto the market. Bank-owned properties are now hitting the market in San Jose, and that's a big deal.
And if you guys don't understand what Ford is, something that Michael and I have talked about a little times is it's family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, like he just stated. It's honestly a conversation pattern. And Michael, I'm going to put you on the point right now. So I hope you're comfortable with this. Are you okay with this?
If not, I'll hide under the desk. Put up my AI persona. All right, let me open up chat, get you the right answer.
So here's the question. If you guys watch our videos, you'll understand this question. My dad was at he had a hoedown, which is a cowboy party at his ranch, and he went up to this guy. Guy wasn't doing anything. He was just sitting there next to our World War II Jeep, and then he walked up and he talked to the guy. He's like, "Hey man, what are your hobbies?" That one question changed everything. That guy talked for 30 minutes with my dad. So, like what Michael's doing, go get inquisitive with people that are out there, because when you want referrals, you have to be relatable. Once you become relatable, you become reliable. After that point,
Yeah.
no more mailers, no more cold calls, no more anything. You're Tom Cruise cool to every single human being. Just go out there and be curious about other human beings' lives. So, Michael, let me ask you this. Since we're on the subject of referrals, what is the one question you've always asked that could be something that people could put in their lives today in the tech and or just lifetime, just ordinary conversations? Because you did such a good job with the guy at at the coffee shop.
What do I ask? What I usually, some of my starter questions are always about the neighborhood.
All right, talk to me about the neighborhood. What do you ask?
I ask if they live in the neighborhood, if they're familiar, when did they get here? I've been in the same basically 3 miles for 30 years.
So,
So
so let's role play this. So, what's a question you would ask me? So, you and I do not know each other. We're at a coffee shop. You're wearing that fantastic hat, and you're going to ask me a question as we're drinking our lattes.
so I generally start off with the basics. How you doing today, Greg? I wouldn't know
I'm
your
doing
name.
well, man. I'm just sitting here relaxing.
Do you absolutely love this sip club or what?
Do you really ask that?
All the time.
I what's a sip club?
Sip Club. Did you know I get my drink free every day?
I did not know that.
And then
Okay.
I talk a little bit about that, and then I say, "Hey, do you live close? Is this your home turf? Is this where you live?"
Nah. I live about four or five blocks away. I just came down here. I heard a lot of good things about it.
Okay, so this is pretty close. With Sip Club, you can go to any of the Paneras and you can get a drink.
Go
Any
deeper
size.
on that question with me.
I'm sorry.
Go deeper on that question.
I'm gonna
Oh,
get there.
sip club. How many sip clubs are around here? Where's the next one that you like to frequent?
Next one,
Go deeper.
2 miles in Los Gatos. But what I break into though is, oh, you live 4 or 5 blocks. Have you been in the area long?
About 25 years.
25 years. Great. So you didn't grow up here. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Alamo.
Oh, okay. Alamo. Beautiful, beautiful town up there. Do you miss it?
Kind of. I mean, but I love the community down here.
Yeah. No, I get it. And you've been in the same house down here for 25 years?
No, we bounce around. We've been renters for a long time.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. It's a great area. Rent prices are going up like crazy, though. Have you thought about what you're going to do in the next few years?
Ask me why I haven't bought.
I don't care why you haven't bought.
Just ask me.
Why haven't you bought?
You know what? Our daughters, and for the reference, guys, I don't have daughters or kids, but I mean, our daughters, they're in high school, and we're looking to let them, get out of high school and then move forward.
So I think Arnie Dodd thinks you are only 30.
Arne is a beautiful, wonderful woman.
Arne, he is not 30.
I am not 30, not even close to 30.
But
So
it's
keep
funny.
going with me.
She also says that there's no hoedown jokes. And all I could think
Oh,
is,
please.
Greg, Terry moved from Danville, which is the equivalent of like moving
Alamo.
Alamo, Danville. It's like moving from Beverly Hills to the hills.
It literally is.
I cannot imagine Terry doing a hoedown for anything.
Well, they have 10 acres up there, and then they literally have an estate up there. It's
I'm sure.
unbelievable.
I'm sure.
It's their version of happiness, and God bless them. Love my parents. Not my gig.
Wouldn't want to live up there either. Okay, so I actually missed the question because I was thinking about you being 30. You're not 30. You can take that off the screen now, Greg.
I'm trying to
Live in large. Just click it again. All right.
No hoedown jokes. All right, shut up, Arne. Not bullshit.
All right. So what was the question again?
So the question really is in regards to somebody who's trying to get referrals, right?
Yep.
What's the question that you would ask your past clients, your friends, your family, someone along those lines that would give you an introduction versus anything else? Because if you go and you follow
Okay. We lost you, Greg. Your microphone's not on. You muted yourself. There you go.
It's my fault.
This, folks, is why I do tech and Greg cold calls.
I do. And that's exactly what I do.
All right. So let me answer that question while it's front and center. What do I ask those people that I'm trying to get a referral from? I point blank ask them for referrals. I'm at the point in my life where I know a lot of senior managers and people that are working for corporations where they have teams with them. And I ask all the time, is there anybody on your team I can help with real estate? Is there any way I can, take it and make their lives easier as we go through and do this?
It's not working out well. So keep going on that thought pattern.
So, I do this because I find sometimes that you actually have to literally point blank ask for what you want, especially when you're working with technical people and engineers. If you don't literally spell it out and say, I want to help you find a home or find a rental or find something or sell your home, if you don't literally put it in those words, then it doesn't work out. And I'll tell you what I've learned too is when somebody gives me a referral. So Greg says, hey, you should reach out to this person. I immediately do two things. I write Greg a thank you card, handwritten card, and say, hey, I really want to thank you for the referral. And I drop a gift card in there or some sort of recognition that he gave me a referral. It hasn't become business. It may never become business. That's not the point. Greg trusts me. I want to reward that trust when it comes to business relationships.
I want to back you up on that comment very, very, very quickly. Number one, millionaire real estate agent, Gary Keller, study this thing like a damn freaking college book, right? Number two, I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and it comes back to what Michael was saying. It's the conversations, just relationships. And this individual I was having a conversation with, they're like, oh my gosh, like I haven't talked to you in a while, yada, yada. I'm like, oh my gosh, I suck. I'm so sorry. And so what Michael is saying is 100% important because if you come back to the numbers, I'm going right back to this book, and I'm not part of Keller Williams. I'm with another company. You can do the 8x8 or the 30/30. Are you familiar with those, Michael?
No.
So the 8x8 is a follow-up program that people can go through very easily, right? If that's their database. So going to get lunch, breakfast, whatever else is going to be. 30x30, well, 30 touch is actually what's called. And this is going to be what it looks like. Whoops, camera, come here.
It's there.
So what it really talks about is, and I've taught this book. This is actually my dad's book, and I've put notes in it as well. But here's the point: when it comes to referrals, your interpersonal relationships are going to be the most powerful things you can possibly build. You become Tom Cruise famous to 50 people in your area, you'll never have to prospect again in your life. Ever. I mean, ever. But that makes no sense to people. So, Michael, who would be two people you'd go and become Tom Cruise famous to?
Greg, I'm Tom Cruise famous to everybody, but
Well, that's because you're devastatingly handsome. Okay. You have
okay.
an advantage on everybody.
But hey, y'all know already, I have no idea what the 30x30 or the 8x8 is, right?
Seriously?
Haven't read the book. I know what it is now that you say it, but I wouldn't have done it. So I typed into chat, Greg, while you were talking there. Use the 30x30 method and write me a plan to get more listings.
Tell me more. Show me.
Okay. Here we go. Absolutely. Doing 30 proactive real estate touches in 30 days.
Now,
Okay.
what would a touch be in your mindset?
A touch
Not
is
not to be
reaching out
weird,
to
not to
somebody.
be weird, but just what would that mean?
Could be a card, it could be a postcard, it could be a drop by, it could be a phone call, it could be pretty much anything. But Greg, this is the part I think is important for somebody like me and our audience here. Okay, prep work before day one. Segment your list, get your past clients, get your local absentee owners, get some homeowners with 10 years plus. Historically, people have only lived in houses for 7 years. That's changing with COVID. It's become much, much more. And now that people have 2 and 3% mortgages, I think it's going to become even more valuable. Okay. Now we get into your daily action plan. Okay. Spear and past clients, 10 touches, 5 CMAs. How many of you have ever done a CMA blind for somebody?
I have.
Not you. Okay. It's tough, but hey, Greg, how do you do your CMAs when you're sending out a blind CMA?
RPR.
Me too. I go to RPR. I do a basic one. I print it out. I put it in a 9x12 envelope. I put postage on it and I send it off. It's a little expensive, but it's impactful.
So, Michael, since we're doing this right now, really quickly, just show us how do you create an RPR? And I'll give you my address, your address, a random address doesn't matter, but it's so simple, boys and girls, that you can literally print it or email it. So, Michael, how would you go about that?
Let me see how I am going to. Hang on one second.
So, for you guys who don't know what that is, you go to NARPR.com. See, Michael's logging in right now. And this, you're already paying for this, right? This is part of your package of being a realtor. So, want to do 123 Main Street, or what do you want to pick? So he's picking the property.
So I'm going to pick
now here in San Jose, California. So let's look at how this looks.
One of my neighbor's houses. I must have gotten the address wrong.
It doesn't matter. So it's $538,000. That's the valuation of this property at this moment.
Let's do Verns. Can we? Oh, I can't get in there. Let's do.
I know, guys. Just give me a second.
Sorry, guys. I hadn't planned on doing this, or I would have picked one up. All right. So we got this property here. Okay. Here's how we do this, guys. This is real simple. CMA. Okay. You go through if you want to crack code, confirm the home facts. I'm going to confirm them. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Confirm facts. Change anything you want to change. Okay. Search for comps. Find the comps. Okay. This is pretty easy and straightforward. It's going to go in single family. Okay. I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit. And I am going to say, sorry, as we go, search. Okay, it's found me 88 properties. The market is definitely changing. I am going to zoom in some here to shrink it down
even further. How easy this is for everybody.
Okay. Yep. So there's 4 of those. Okay, I'm going to just go in and look at those, and I'm going to say update valuation and close. Okay, I'm not doing this the way I normally would. I would actually look at something and see. You can adjust comps.
Let's make it stupid simple.
Yep. What's stupid simple?
I mean, if you really want to granular with this stuff, you can really get down in the weeds. But I mean, this is like a great overview.
Yeah.
For a first, email out, just have a conversation, so on and so forth. Now, are we going to be right 100% of the time? 100% not. But it's a sword, not a scalpel.
Yep. All right.
And then Michael, walk us through what we're seeing right now.
So now I'm just adding some comps here. I guess I didn't add the other 4. And I'm going to just add those like I was actually paying attention. Update valuation and close.
So how does this work when it comes to referrals?
So this isn't really part of the referral piece, right? This is about getting business, right? So now when we go out there, we can adjust comps, we can do this and create reports. I would create this report, build it, and send it. Right. This is a little different than building referrals. Where we started with this, though, was the 30 by 30, right? And I was just kind of interesting to see, how much of what we're talking about it put out there.
Right. But can you show me the report that was created by one click?
By one click, let me create this report.
And by the ways, guys, it's happening on the backside.
It is okay. So it is generating the report right now. You'll notice there's a report tab up here.
But there's different reports. Which one did you pick?
I chose the seller's report.
Seller's report. What do you like about that one?
It's structured the way I would do a normal CMA. I think you could use any of these, right? You have a property report, you could do a mini property report. Those are less focused on price and more about what's around it. Market activity obviously tells you what's going on in the area. You could do it based on schools. I mean, there's all different kinds of reports you can do. Once it's done, you have the option of downloading the report. And it's going
Which,
to come
by
up.
the way, guys, I do the mini report. Just that's my personal preference. Michael likes the bigger one. That's fine. That's all prerogative. And you get so much content. What's your favorite part about these reports?
My favorite part about these reports is that they're colorful and they build graphs that most other systems don't. So you've got, for example, here the livability index. Okay, 57 out of 100. You've got a property history. Okay,
Mhm.
going up. Those kind of things. People look at this information, but it's hard to digest. This is, okay, the sales of financing activity is going up. That's great news. Market activity, all of these things play into what people like to see, the health and comparisons.
Well, you also look very intelligent talking about this
Yes.
when you spout off numbers. Now, I'm not saying anyone's dumb. What I'm saying is now you have context for a conversation in
Yep.
regards to just being like, hey, man, do you know your absorption rate is this? Your inventory is that, and you just talk. I mean, without having to have a hard conversation.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
So,
And you already paid for it, like I said.
yeah, you're already paying. So, one of the things I do like about your 30 by 30 here is it also talks about digital touches. Okay.
Yep.
Post a seller focused video. Go out and ask somebody to take a video for you. Okay. Send texts. Text messages are so much less intrusive than they used to be. You can now text somebody and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. And, if you want to go grab lunch, let me know.
Actually, you know what? Funny enough, you bring that up is the fact that I'm actually in conversation with a gentleman. Actually, I'll bring up. I'll show you this text. Um, he, he and I are talking about going and getting a lunch, and it was purely because he and we had a conversation on the phone, and it was a conversation. It was nothing more than what you and I are doing right now. But he was like, "Man, I haven't had a conversation with somebody in so long. Like, love to get breakfast, get lunch, get a drink, whatever. Be human." And he cracked up when I showed him the text. I'm like, "Yeah, that's the point. Like, let's connect."
Yeah.
Like, I really don't give a shit about anything else, but my gosh, I mean, do you like hamburgers, sandwiches,
Yep.
salads, beers? I mean, what do you like?
Yep.
And all of a sudden, he brought up to me, he's like, Greg, I I may have somebody that might want to sell their house. And I'm like, okay,
Woohoo.
here in the area or out of the area? I mean, what's going on? He's like, no, no, here in the area. I'm like, okay, cool, let's talk. But first, let's get a burger and a beer.
Yeah. So we got an interesting question from Jalen out there on our YouTube page. Um, is this how to find properties? And Greg, I'm going to say no. This isn't about how to find properties. This is about
Hmm.
how to conduct your real estate business. Because I think that a lot of times what I see in my business, which is primarily supporting real estate agents, is that thought process of I have to go find properties. Oh, I found a property. I'm going to stop looking. Then I'm going to do it. If you're running your business like this, the bottom line is down here. You're up here all the time, right? You're constantly looking. When Greg talks about 30 by 30, Greg, what I'm going to tell you is this isn't 30 by 30. This is all the time.
It's it is 100%, and getting referrals. And I agree with you on this, Michael. In my work for 26 years, man, going out to the dog park, going to the local bar, restaurant, coffee shop, you pick it, right? Whatever your flavor is. And you just have conversations and relate with folks. Man, the referrals will flow in like the river's Nile.
Yeah.
You have to put yourself out there. And that's the hardest part because uh, being out there means being vulnerable. When you're vulnerable, which means you're being seen. And so, you know what? If you want to be a top agent or just an agent that, feeds their family and just lives life, I don't really care. And I really think that whatever you want to do is what you should do. Um, go do it.
Yeah. So,
I
Greg, I
mean,
know.
I have two German shepherds sleeping right next to me right now, underneath my feet. And when Michael and I are done doing this show, these idiots, we're going to go to the dog park. Then they're going to take me out for lunch. And then we're going to come back and make dinner for mama. That's life.
Okay.
What's your life look like? That's the
What
real
does your life
question.
look like? All right. So I know we're going to start wrapping this up here.
Sure.
We're trying to change the format, but Greg, we have two exciting shows that I wanted to talk about coming up. Number
Tell me
one,
about them.
we are going to do something and we are going to take the brokerages into the ring. And by that, I mean, we are going to bring someone from KW and someone from EXP together. Greg is with EXP. I've invited Eric Bradley from KW, and we're going to talk about the difference between these brokerages. This is going to be a slightly longer show, but I want to have that conversation where we really focus on telling people what the difference is between these two profit share companies. We are also, based on the excitement of this show, going to have a conversation with Greg McDaniel about how to cold call. This is a different show. We're going to talk about how to get business the harder way. And I want to do this for two reasons. I know that a lot of people out there right now are saying the market is slowing down a little bit. It's getting harder to sell. How do we get that new business? And Greg, that's where I want to start bringing people to the table. I want people to learn how to get business in this constantly changing market. I'm not going to say
Mhm.
better. I'm not going to say worse, but it is constantly changing. And Greg, I think you've got a great program to do that. So we're going to talk about that in one of our upcoming shows.
We're going to have a blast doing it, actually, Michael. And I did not know about this before you
Nope.
spoke.
Just told
So I was taking a little bit offline. But here's the fun thing about that. The cool thing is this, guys and gals, boys and girls. everybody's listening and watching. Your life is right in front of you.
Yep.
And I have lost a lot of life not looking at life like that. So with this, I'll tell you everything that Michael's going to throw a lot of things at me, by the way, that he knows about me. And you can see the the smile on his face.
Come on, I'm ready for you.
I want everybody to be profitable, happy, and just enjoying what they live, how they live it. Michael and I have gone through a lot of things in life that have not been fun. Um, and we'll leave that there. But I'll tell you this, you don't have to do it. And we're going to just have fun. We're going to laugh. And if you guys like what we're going to say, go out there, kick some booty, and make money and have fun. And then tell us the stories. Oh my gosh, tell us the stories. I want to hear how successful you are because I understand that you guys are going to crush it. Absolutely crush it. Michael, tell them one thing that they can crush it on.
One thing you guys can crush it on this week is get up every day. Stand up, put your 2 feet on the ground, and get started. Doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're podcasting, whether you're just staring at your computer, do something. And if you don't know what to do to improve your business, go to chat like I did. Use the 30 by 30 method. Write me a plan to get more listings or get more buyers or do something and just try it.
Michael, what's the one thing I told you to do that you didn't do?
Pass out business cards every day.
And if you had done that, do you think that would have made a change in your life?
Yeah, of course I do. I think that doing the right things proactively produces results.
And I'm not throwing him underneath the bus. What I'm saying is, at a certain point in time in your life, just listen to something that you like. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything or everything. I mean, Michael and I, we've known each other for 20 plus years. And so he's listened to some stuff. I've listened to some stuff. Actually, a lot of the stuff he's taught me about being on camera and mic and everything else. I've taught other people about, and vice versa. So just, how do I say this nicely? Just learn,
No. Keep
but
every
have
single day.
fun doing it.
Yep.
And so watch our next video when we do the videos with all these crazy people. Michael, take us away.
That's another show. If you guys need to reach out to us, it's Michael or Greg at regeeks.com. And we are about 1 week away from officially launching regeeks.com. So keep your eyes peeled. We're going to start sending out emails and updates on what we're doing. Excited to see you guys here. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Greg, thanks for another great show. Look forward to next week and getting stuff off the ground.
Not a problem, brother. You're a handsome, sexy man with intelligence coming out of your ears. We cannot wait to learn from you, boys and girls. Until next time, boom, peace. We
Peace.
love you, and we'll see you on the next side. All right, guys. Bye.
Take care.